Okay, g'day guys, Andrew Dwight. I'm going to show you some tips and tricks, and it's got to do with customers' yards. You know, you can make a model look really impressive if you take a photo of their property. I'm going to give you a quick example of what I've done. So I'm just going to go File, and I'm going to import a photograph. So in your pictures, and what I've done, if I just open this, let's have a look at it. Open. Okay, I just took a panoramic photo with my phone, and I took it on the lowest resolution the phone would do. However, it still come in at 14 megabytes. Now I didn't want that, so what I did is I screen captured the photo when I knew it was about the size that I needed the resolution to be. So basically I just took a screenshot from here through to here, and then I saved the file. Let's get that down. Now I'm going to import this file. So if you've gone File, Import, you'll come to this area here. Now I can go, you want to make sure that you have all supported image types there, or the particular format of the image that you've taken. If you've taken a screenshot, you know, I'd probably save it as a JPEG or something. So here's my photo, and I'm going to use it as an image. I'm not going to use it as a text or anything. So this is really important. Okay, open, and I can now place my photo. Now I don't have any idea of scale just yet. However, Plusspec, as you would know if you used it, has a scale tool. And I know the distance from here to here is approximately 100 meters. So I'm just going to select the scale tool, and I'm going to go from here to here is 100 meters. It's just an approximate. We can change it later if we need to. 100 meters, enter. Okay, so now I have my photograph there on the ground. And you'll notice if I try and triple click or double click on the photo, there's nothing I can do with it. It is a photograph. So what I need to do is right click and explode this photograph. And now I have faces and edges. Okay, which is kind of handy for what I want to do next. Now what I'm going to do is look at this photograph here and say, okay, well I have my horizon here, and I do want some foreground that I can stick my model on or draw on top of. So I'm going to go to here, and I'm just going to draw a line straight through here, which is going to sort of cut this car in half, but that's okay. And what I want to do is I want to select the top half of the photo, and if I go down to this angle here and I push Q as a shortcut, you'll notice it come up with my little tool here. And you notice when I sort of went down here, it went to red. You can use your side arrows as well, up or down arrows, to lock it to an axis. You'll notice that in the right hand side, down in the VCB down here, it says 90 degrees when I get to there, or you can type it in. And what that's allowed me to do is now have a foreground and a photo in the background. Now there might be better ways to do it. I just know this is a quick way to do it. Now I could actually go here and select this edge here and move it, but there's going to be a problem. Watch. See that? It's replicating the photo. And I want to kind of get around this quick. I don't want to mess around too much. What I'm going to do is I'm going to select this, and I'm going to just turn that line off. So I have three edges and a face, and I'm going to Control X or cut that photo. Right, and I'm going to move it over here and go Control V. Right, and I'm going to make it into a group. Right, and now if I went and lined it back up, I can actually go and scale this. Scale, and I'm bringing my foreground out. Okay, to where I think it will work. Now that's fine, but the image isn't round, and that's a bit of a problem. I need this image to be rounded so that when I sort of look around, I can sort of see my imagery following. So check this out. I select one edge, and I'm going to move my edge. So I pushed M as a shortcut, Control, and I'm going to move it. And if I dropped it where it would split the face, but I want to split it evenly. I'm going to go here, I went right to the other end, and I'm going to go divided by, as if you notice in the bottom left hand side, divided by 5, enter. And what that did is it split the image into 5 different faces. Alright, and because this is a group down here, it's not stuck to it anymore. If you forget that, you'll see there'll be an error. Right, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this one and this one, and I'm going to push Q as a shortcut, and I'm going to rotate, whoops, Q. If you need to lock it on an axis, push Shift. Right, and I'm going to turn that 20 degrees, and I'm going to double click this one, Q again, Shift to lock it on my axis, 20 degrees, and same down here, Q, 20 degrees. Double click Q. If you're a newbie at this, I am using shortcuts and I'm using my space bar to get out of tools. 20 degrees. Right. Now I have something I can draw, but I don't want these lines here either, so I'm going to hide them. Right, so I'm going to go, I'm basically push spacebar there to get select, or it's this one here, and I'm going to push shift. I'm going to select all of my lines. Whoops, I clicked a face and not a line, and I'm going to hide them. I've set up a shortcut H for hide, however you can right click and go hide, and now I kind of have a better idea and something that when I turn my model, the client gets an understanding. If you click these faces, you can have them not receive shadows as well, which you kind of don't want them to because it wouldn't look natural. So from memory to do that, I'm going to make it a component, and I don't want to receive shadows. I'm going to do that in another video because I can't remember, and I'm not even going to worry about it on this one. You'll see later why you would do that. Receive shadows is here somewhere, definitely. That's a type. Always face camera. That's an interesting one. If I pushed always face camera, it means that I'll show you what happens there. Create. Shadows face sun. No, don't want that. And create. Okay. Now, what that means is when I rotate my model, and that's not really what I'm after, but in some situations that might work. Okay, I'm going to Control Z it, and I'm going to make it into a quick group. Make group. Okay, so now I'm sort of getting a bit more of a natural look when I do it. Now I don't know whether my scale is exactly right, so I'm going to quickly draw some sort of a quick house on here and see how it looks. The benefit is that when a customer sees their own house happening inside, or their own land happening inside a drawing, they start to relate to what we are doing, and it brings them into a perspective, or it gives them value, your drawing value. And I can see that it looks like that land's a little bit too big, so I'm going to scale it down a second. Right click walls, and I'm going to generate a roof. Oops. Walls, generate roof from walls. And go submit. Okay, so here's my house on this block. Actually, it's not too bad. I think that might actually work out alright. And look, without getting into the detail and putting all my internal walls in, I might just put a big door in here, say. Where am I? Go up to here to by default door. Go submit. I'll put a big door in here so we can walk in the house quite easily. I'm going to open that door up, and you can see I'm going to need to put a floor in, and I'm going to put a big window in here, say, or another big door. Okay, so I put, say, a door here and a door here. Okay, and I might want a window, say, here. You can use the toolbars or shortcuts like I've just done here. And I add a window, say here, big window there. Right, and obviously we don't want to be looking at a client. Just zoom out there. The client doesn't want to be looking at grass inside the house, so I'm going to go right click walls and generate a floor. Generate floor face from walls. I might put a concrete slab on that or something. So 100mm thick slab, yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm not going to put any recesses in there. Let's not get too carried away here. So I'm going to go recess depth. So make it 1. Right, and delete the face that I got there. I'm going to select everything except for my photos. Oops. I'm going to move my house up so that it sits above the grass. Okay. Now when I go and have a look inside my house, get out of that, deselect everything, I can go inside my house and I can have a bit of a look around. Now you can see I need to do a little bit of adjustment with the way that those things work, but majority of what I'm looking at is actually what we would be looking at outside these windows. It's pretty cool. It really does give a client a good perspective. I could probably hide the bottom of these lines here, or I could actually go in and scale this down a touch, or move the house forwards a touch, so it looks a little bit more realistic. So let's have a look. Let's just quickly grab this here and the roof. Probably didn't grab that properly. And move it forwards. See, I missed those back two walls there. I probably should have went Control A, selected all, and deselected the other two. Move this forwards, and sometimes you might even need to scale this bottom drawing out a little bit more to get it looking right. Let's have a look. Scale. Use S as the shortcut there. And before I mentioned that these lines here were showing up, I'm just going to hide them. Oops, didn't hide the right one. Select the component, and I'm going to hide these lines, or I could have just basically cheated and pushed the drawing down so you didn't see them. They sunk below the ground level. Okay. Alright, now when I go inside of my house, let's see if we can see any lines. Okay, and as I start to look through my drawing, the land is kind of following, you know, as you'd probably walk around, you'd see something like this. Now, making so these don't receive shadows is probably something I should do, and I'll explain to you roughly why that's an issue. Turn my shadows on up here, and you'll see the background here is throwing a shadow. Guys, I can't remember how to do that, but it's something to do with components there. But you know, I start to put shadows in there and so on, and go back in inside the house, and things just start to look a little bit more natural. Now, for a house that's not rendered, you can see we've got a lot of information in there that I think saves you a lot of time with rendering engines. Give it a try, and I'd be interested to hear your thoughts. Cheers.